everyone, it's Gabriel here today to do a video on Miss Octavia. This is Octavia, my third and hopefully final leopard gecko for now. I would like to own more leopard geckos in the future, just to be clear, but I forgot to turn off the air conditioner. Okay guys, I don't think I'll be able to handle her the whole time. She is kind of a spaz whenever it comes to being handled. I said that last video about Olivia, and she was fine the whole time, but this girl's crazy. I will include a clip now. So yeah, that is Miss Octavia. I'm gonna call her Tabby. I think I probably talked about that in the video where, where I introduce her. She has always been like that. She was like that with my cousin a lot. I'm gonna put her back. I put her back. So yeah guys, this is Octavia. She is my rescue, I guess, rehomed leopard gecko. So I pretty much have 3 different kinds of leopard geckos. I have a breeder quality leopard gecko. I have a adoption leopard gecko, like from a pet store adoption, and then I have a rehoming. So let's get right into it. She is pet quality. She was originally bought from Petco, and I know because I was there to witness it. So we do not know her morph, but in my opinion, she is probably my prettiest leopard gecko. In my opinion, I think she's gorgeous. I mean, all my leopard geckos are pretty. Like Augie is really pretty, but there's something so cute about her pattern. She is a really muted orange, and then she has all these spots on her head, which I hope you can see. She's so cool. So let's get into how I ended up with her. So Octavia was originally named Eli because my cousin thought it was Elliot. So my cousin got Elliot, which was her original name, because we thought she was a he. And so I was there for the purchase of this baby. My cousin had been wanting a leopard gecko for quite some time, like a pretty long time. And she was always talking about how she wanted one. And one day I went over to her house and she's like, you know, let's just do it. And she scrapped together some money and she's like, let's go do it. So we invited my other aunt, not my cousin's mom, like my aunt, to go with us. And we went to this local pet store to get the supplies for a leopard gecko. And the whole entire time, my cousin was like, oh, I'll get this. And in the back of my head, I'm like, no. Because she didn't really do a ton of research. So I was there to guide her in the right direction, because I didn't own leopard geckos yet, but I had done research on them previously. Also, I was Googling stuff a lot because I know her. She's not really the greatest with pets. And I had a feeling the leopard gecko that she was getting would end up being mine at some point. We ended up going to this pet store. My cousin was looking through all this stuff, and we were starting to put stuff in the cart. We got, I think, a 10-gallon tank at the time. And then I was like, we need a heat mat, no heat lamps. And then a worker came over and showed her this kit that was a 10-gallon with Repta carpet, a hide, a little plastic hide, and then a cheap little food dish, and 2 lights, overhead heat lights. And my cousin was like, okay, let's get that. And then my aunt did pay for some of it. So my aunt paid for the gecko, and then she also paid for some decor in a different water bowl. Oh my God, please don't fall. Took Elliot home and set him up at her house, and he was being handled and all that. And he was pretty chill with it. It's kind of being a spaz a little bit, but he was adjusting. So anyways, after that, I kind of was always checking in on him and asking my cousin a whole bunch of questions about how he was doing. You know, I was always encouraging her to feed other stuff, you know, all that. I made sure she got calcium and stuff because I did not want him to get metabolic bone disease. I was just checking in. She did pretty good with him. The only problem was he was in the 10-gallon, which was a little small for his size. He didn't really have many hides. He didn't have a moist hide at all, which I'm kind of surprised he did so well with his sheds without having a humid hide, moist hide, whatever you want to call it. But overall, he's pretty healthy in my opinion. And all of a sudden my cousin was like, hey, do you want him now? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she was like, yeah, can you take him now? And then she changed her mind. And then she ended up being like, yeah, actually, can you take him now? So she had him for less than a year, which I expected to happen. She gets pretty bored of her pets pretty easily, which some people just aren't pet people, you know? Hey, cutie. And so I was like, okay, and I ended up having an extra 40 gallon that I used to use for Paisley as a hamster tank, whatever. And so I put that on the bottom shelf. I had to rearrange all my shelves. It was a pain in the butt. It was so stressful. I had to take Augie and Livia off of here and everything off, and then put them on my desk, and had to have my brother help me like realign the shelf. And then I went out and I bought some decor, and now I have this baby who I found out was a girl. So I named her Octavia, Tabby for short, because I kind of have a theme going where I name all of my reptiles after like Roman names. It wasn't really the original plan. Augie's is named after Augustus. Like, to be clear, I'm not basing this off of like personalities or anything. I was picking cool Roman names because my brother was gonna get a leopard gecko and name it Caesar or Julius, and I decided to go with the theme too, which is why I named Augie Augustus, and Livia is named Livia after the first Roman empress, and then Octavia after I think another Roman empress. I'm not big on that kind of stuff. I just thought it was a cute theme. Don't come for me. She is a bit of a spaz with being handled. She used to like try to jump out of my hands whenever she was at my cousin's house, and my cousin hated holding her because she was so crazy, and she is honestly pretty crazy. But since owning her, I held her once and she leaped out of my hands. You saw the clip. And other than that, she's a really good eater. Like, she is a good eater. She has a really nice thick tail. She's the thickest tail and the longest tail. And overall, she's the beefiest out of all of my geckos. She used to eat, like, with my cousin, 12 mealworms at a time. I limit that. I only feed about 10, less than 10 mealworms per feed. And this girl's a pig. She has shed twice since owning her, and she's always gotten it off really well. I do know she has a little bit on her one toe, but other than that, she gets it off pretty well. She's just overall a nice gecko. She's always out of her hide, which is funny. Like, she's always out. Always splooting. I did have her with her heat lamp for a couple of weeks because my cousin wanted her gone all of a sudden. Like, it was really sudden, and so I had to set up her tank real quick, and then my cousin brought her over, and I ordered a heat mat with a thermostat, and it didn't arrive because of the whole pandemic thing. So she was on a heat lamp for a little bit, which I really didn't like, but it was temporary. And now that she has her heat mat, there definitely is a difference. Like, she just sploots now, which is adorable, you know, like the little sploot leopard geckos do. Love that. She sploots. I feel like she's just so much warmer now, and it makes her a little bit more active. I really like that for her. She's a really nice gecko. Personality is just a little crazy. She's crazy about food. She's crazy about being handled. I watched her grow the whole time, which is really nice. I saw her whenever she was a little bit smaller. She has grown. I know what she looked like in the beginning. The only thing I will say is her colors have gotten more dull. Whenever my cousin first got her, she was a really vibrant orange. Now her colors have always been dull like this since I got her. But this might also just be a natural thing for her morph as well. I don't know, I just think it's interesting that she was a really bright orange color, and now she's like super dark, which I personally think is really pretty. But it is definitely very interesting. I'm really happy to have her. I think she's really cool. I love leopard geckos at this point. I would love to own more in the future. I would love to own an Enigma leopard gecko, and I would want to adopt it. I would never buy an Enigma. I would like to adopt one, and just like, because I just want to give them good homes like that Jessica's Animals does. I think that's so cool. But it won't happen for a very long time because I'm not getting any more. I'm going to keep these guys and take care of them and all that. So yeah, guys, that is little Miss Octavia, or Tabby. Excited to learn more about her. I've had her for about a month now. She will be 1 in June. She'll be 1 in June. I explained this poorly, so I'm just voicing it over real quick. So, June 9th, my cousin got Octavia, and I helped her get Octavia. This was the first leopard gecko I handled, and this was the leopard gecko that inspired me to get my first leopard gecko. So, after I saw Octavia, June 15th, I went to a pet store and I saw Livia, but I couldn't buy Livia because of her illness. So I left, and then I got Augie that day. So then, fast forward about a month, the pet store called me. I was given Livia. And then, April of 2020, I was then given Octavia. So it was just interesting to think that, like, the third gecko that I saw was my first, and then I got the second one I saw that I wanted, and then I ended up with the third one that inspired me to get leopard geckos in the first place. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. It was like ABC, but backwards. You know, I hope that makes sense. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting that, like, the 3 leopard geckos that I thought were so pretty and so cool, I ended up with all 3 of them, just in different stages. So yeah, guys, that is Miss Octavia. I hope you guys enjoy meeting her. She's a spunky little girl. She eats whatever. She's a hog. She's crazy. She's a jumper. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like, subscribe. If you didn't, then goodbye.